He risked everything to save her. She swore loyalty for life. Asterisk. The crimson desert of Kepler-4 for to be stretched endlessly beneath Captain Marcus Reed's boots as he approached the smoking wreckage. His scanner had detected the crash 3 hours ago. During a routine patrol of the Outer Rim territories, the twisted metal hull bore no resemblance to any human vessel he knew. "Command, this is Patrol 7. Marcus spoke into his CUM unit, then hesitated. Something made him pause before continuing the transmission. "Investigating debris field. We'll report findings shortly." The hull had been split open like a broken egg, revealing glimpses of strange technology within. Crystalline conduits pulsed, with fading light and symbols that hurt his eyes to look at directly covered every surface. But it wasn't the alien architecture that made Marcus's breath catch in his throat. It was the soft moan of pain echoing from within the wreckage. Marcus drew his pulse rifle and advanced carefully. Alliance protocol demanded he call for backup. Immediately upon discovering alien life, but something in that sound made him holster his weapon instead. It was unmistakably feminine, and filled with such anguish that his protective instincts overrode military training. "Hello," he called softly. "I'm here to help." A figure stirred in the shadows beyond a collapsed bulkhead. As Marcus climbed through the twisted metal, his helmet light revealed her. She was unlike anything he'd ever seen, humanoid but clearly not human. Her skin held a pale blue tint that seemed to shimmer with its own inner light. Silver hair cascaded around delicate features, and when she opened her eyes, they were the color of deep space itself. "Please," she whispered in accented but clear English, "don't let them find me." Marcus knelt beside her, his medical scanner, revealing multiple fractures and internal bleeding. She wouldn't survive another hour without treatment. Her ship's life support was failing, and the nearest Alliance medical facility was 2 days away. "Who's looking for you?" Marcus asked, as he carefully examined her injuries. "My people, your people, everyone." She coughed, and Marcus noticed the droplets were luminescent. "I am Naya of the Zephyrian houses, and I am already dead to both our worlds." Marcus made his decision in that instant. He activated his ship's emergency medical protocols and gathered Naya in his arms. She weighed almost nothing, her alien physiology clearly adapted for lower gravity. Her skin felt warm against his gloves, and he could swear he felt a slight electrical current where they touched. "My ship has a medical bay," he said. "I can help you." Naya's dark eyes widened with surprise. "You would risk your career for a stranger? For an enemy?" "You're not my enemy," Marcus replied, surprised by the certainty in his own voice. "And you're not a stranger anymore." The journey back to the Stellar Wanderer took 30 minutes across the desert terrain. Marcus's ship wasn't large, a modified patrol vessel designed for one person, but its medical bay was state-of-the-art. As he placed Naya on the treatment table, her skin began to glow more brightly, responding to the ship's bioscanners. "Fascinating," she murmured, watching the human medical technology analyze her alien biology. "Your machines can read Zephyrian physiology. Alliance tech adapts quickly," Marcus explained as he initialized the healing protocols, "though I've never seen readings like these before." The treatment process revealed more about Naya's unique nature. Her bones were hollow like a bird's, but stronger than titanium. Her blood carried microscopic organisms that seemed to repair damage in real time. Most remarkably, her neural patterns showed activity in regions of the brain that didn't exist in humans. As the medical bay worked to stabilize her condition, Naya reached out and touched Marcus's hand. The moment their skin made contact without his gloves, both of them gasped. Images flashed through Marcus's mind, glimpses of alien worlds, strange technologies, and overwhelming emotions not his own. "What was that?" Marcus asked, staring at their joined hands. "Zephyrians are empathically linked," Naya explained, her voice stronger now. "We can share thoughts and feelings through touch. But I've never connected with a human before. Your mind feels ... different, stronger somehow." Marcus found he didn't want to let go of her hand. The connection felt natural, as if something missing had finally clicked into place. "Why were you running? What happened to your ship?" Naya's expression darkened. "My world is dying. We face extinction from a war my brother started in his hunger for power. I tried to stop him, to make peace with your alliance. For that, I was branded a traitor and sentenced to death. And now I am lost between worlds belonging to neither." She squeezed his hand gently. "Unless you truly meant what you said about helping me." Marcus met her alien gaze and saw something that transcended species barriers: hope, vulnerability, and the spark of something deeper. "I meant every word." As Naya's condition stabilized, Marcus realized he'd crossed a line he couldn't uncross. He'd chosen her safety over his duty, her life over his career. But looking at her peaceful expression as she finally rested without pain, he knew he'd make the same choice again without hesitation. The Stellar Wanderer's computers chimed softly, indicating Naya's vital signs had normalized. Whatever came next, they would face it together. 2 weeks passed in the depths of space as Marcus navigated through uncharted asteroid fields, staying off Alliance shipping lanes. The Stellar Wanderer had become their sanctuary, a tiny bubble of safety in an hostile universe. Naya's recovery progressed faster than any human medicine could explain. "Your healing factor is incredible," Marcus observed as he removed the last of her bandages. Where deep lacerations had been, only faint silver lines remained. Human wounds would take months to heal this well. Naya flexed her fingers, marveling at the restored mobility. "Sci-fiarians draw energy from stellar radiation. Your ship's fusion core provides a similar frequency." She paused, studying his face. "But there's something else. The connection we share, it's accelerating my recovery." Else. Marcus had felt it too. Since their first touch, he'd experienced strange dreams filled with alien landscapes and emotions that weren't his own. More disturbing, he'd begun healing faster himself. A childhood scar on his shoulder had completely faded. "What's happening? To me?" he asked. Naya rose from the medical table and moved closer. In the ship's dim lighting, her skin held a subtle luminescence that made her appear almost ethereal. "May I show you something?" She placed her palm against his chest directly. Over his heart? Immediately, Marcus felt warmth spreading through his body. But more than that, he could sense Naya's presence in his mind. Not intrusive, but welcoming, like coming home after a long journey. "Sci-fiarians bond with compatible partners," she explained softly. "It's rare, sacred. But I've never heard of it happening with another species." "What does it mean?" Marcus asked, though part of him already knew. Every moment spent in her presence felt more natural than anything in his previous life. "It means our neural pathways are synchronizing, sharing energy, memories, even genetic adaptations." Her hand moved to touch his face. "It means we were meant to find each other." The next few days brought new revelations. Inja demonstrated abilities that defied human understanding of physics. She could manipulate electromagnetic fields, healing damaged ship components with her touch. When Marcus cut himself on a sharp edge, she drew the pain away so completely he wondered if he'd imagined the injury. "Teach me about your world, Marcus," said one evening, as they shared dinner in the ship's small galley. Naxing's eyes took on a distant quality. "Zephyria orbits a binary star system. Our cities float in the upper atmosphere, powered by solar winds. We've never known war until my brother Corvin decided we needed to expand our territory. What changed him? Power. He discovered ancient weapons buried in our world's core technology from a dead civilization. It corrupted him, convinced him that Zephyrians were meant to rule the galaxy." Her voice carried deep sadness. "He destroyed 3 peaceful worlds before I tried to stop him." Marcus reached across the table and took her hand. The connection sparked immediately, and he saw glimpses of her memories, beautiful crystal cities floating among clouds. Her brother's transformation from protector to destroyer, the moment she decided to risk everything for peace. "Brave," he said, "or incredibly foolish." She smiled sadly. "I betrayed my own blood to contact your alliance. They would have used me as a weapon against my people." "That's not happening," Marcus said firmly. "We'll find another way." That night, as Marcus lay in his bunk, he felt Naya's presence more strongly than ever. She appeared in his doorway, her skin glowing softly in the darkness. "I can't sleep," she whispered. "The nightmares from the crash keep returning." Marcus shifted over, making room for her on the narrow bunk. When she curled up beside him, Her warmth seemed to chase away all the cold emptiness of space. Her head rested on his shoulder, silver hair spilling across his chest. "Better?" he asked. "Much better." Her voice was drowsy.
Amorgas.
"What were?" Feeling it's not just the bond, he considered lying, maintaining professional distance. But the connection between them made deception impossible. "No, it's not just the bond." She lifted her head to meet his eyes. In the dim light, her features were achingly beautiful, alien yet familiar, exotic yet somehow meant for him. "Never felt this way about anyone," she admitted. "Huanor, Zephyrian." "Neither have I," Marcus replied honestly. When she kissed him, it was gentle at first, a question rather than a demand. Marcus answered by pulling her closer, deepening the connection. Her lips were softer than human lips, and he could taste something sweet like starlight. The bioluminescence in her skin brightened with her emotions, casting their small cabin in a warm, ethereal glow. They made love slowly, carefully, learning each other's alien responses. Naya's skin seemed to sing under his touch, patterns of light racing across her body wherever his hands roamed. When she arched beneath him, crying out in a language he didn't understand, but somehow felt in his soul. Marcus experienced not just his own pleasure, but hers as well through their neural link. Afterward, they lay entwined, both breathing hard. Marcus marveled at how perfectly she fit against him, as if evolution had crafted them specifically for each other.
Wow.
"The bond is complete now," Naya whispered against his throat. "We're truly connected. I can feel your heartbeat as my own." Marcus kissed the top of her head, inhaling her scent, like ozone and flowers after rain. "What happens now?" "Now we face whatever comes together." She traced patterns on his chest with her finger. "But Marcus, you need to understand. This isn't temporary for my kind. Severian bonds last lifetimes." "Good," he replied without hesitation, "because I'm never letting you go." As Naya drifted off to sleep in his arms, Marcus stared out the viewport at the stars. Somewhere out there, two civilizations would be hunting for them. But for this moment, nothing else mattered except the warm, luminous woman who had chosen to trust him with her life in her heart. 3 months into their journey through the outer rim, the stellar wanderer had become more than a ship. It was their home. Marcus had modified the living quarters to accommodate 2 people, while Naya had integrated some of her recovered Zephyrian technology to improve their life support systems. "Try again," Naya encouraged as Marcus attempted to channel energy through his palms like she did. "Feel the connection between your neural pathways and the ship's electromagnetic field." Marcus concentrated, remembering the sensation of their bond during intimate moments. Slowly, a faint blue glow appeared around his hands, weak compared to Naya's brilliant luminescence, but undeniably real. "I'm actually doing it," he breathed in amazement. "The bond has changed you on a cellular level," Naya explained, moving to stand behind him. Her arms wrapped around his waist as she guided his hands toward a damaged control panel. "Our genetics are merging in ways that shouldn't be possible." Together they repaired the panel with pure energy transfer. Marcus felt the thrill of wielding power he'd never imagined possible, but more than that, he felt the perfect synchronization with Naya's consciousness. They moved as one being with 2 bodies. "How far could this go?" Marcus asked as they finished the repair. "I don't know," Naya admitted. "There are no records of interspecies bonding in Zephyrian history. We're exploring uncharted territory." That evening, as they shared dinner, Naya noticed Marcus picking at his food. "What's troubling you?" "I've been thinking about our situation," Marcus said carefully. "We can't run forever. Eventually we'll need supplies, fuel, a place to settle down." "You're having second thoughts about abandoning your old life," Naya observed. It wasn't a question. Through their bond, she could sense his internal conflict. "Not about you. Never about you." Marcus reached for her hand. "But I worry about what I've cost you. Could have found sanctuary somewhere, started over. Instead, you're stuck on a ship with a fugitive Alliance officer." Naya's skin brightened with emotion. "Marcus Reed, you saved my life. You gave up everything you knew to protect me. If you think I consider that a burden, then our bond isn't as strong as I believed." "That's not what I meant," she silenced him. with a kiss that tasted of starlight and promises. When they separated, her eyes blazed with fierce determination. "Let me show you exactly how I feel about our situation," she whispered. Naya led him to their shared quarters, her skin glowing brighter with each step. When she began removing her clothes, the patterns of light across her body shifted and danced, like living constellations. Marcus watched in awe as she revealed herself completely, every curve and hollow illuminated by her inner radiance. "You are the most beautiful thing in the universe," he said reverently. "And you," she replied, moving to undress him with careful reverence, "are the bravest man in any galaxy." When they came together, the bond between them flared to new intensity. Marcus found he could sense not just Naya's emotions but her memories, her dreams, even her cellular responses to his touch. She cried out as he found a sensitive spot behind her ear. He felt the echo of her pleasure doubled back through their connection. "I can feel everything you feel," Marcus gasped, as she moved above him, her skin painting them both in blue-white radiance. "Then you know," Naya whispered breathlessly, "that I have never been happier than in this moment." Their lovemaking transcended physical pleasure. Through the bond, they shared 20 years of memories in minutes Marcus's lonely childhood. Naya's privileged upbringing, their respective heartbreaks and triumphs. By the time they collapsed together in exhaustion, they knew each other more completely than most couples did after decades together. "I love you, Marcus," said simply as they lay entwined, not because of the bond, not because of duty or gratitude. "I love you because you're everything good in the universe concentrated into one perfect being," as luminescence pulsed gently with contentment. "And I love you because you chose compassion over protocol, because you see beauty where others see only difference, because you make me believe that love truly can conquer any obstacle." The next morning brought unexpected challenges. The ship's long-range scanners detected 3 vessels, approaching their position, 2 Alliance cruisers, and something else that registered as unknown configuration. "We've been found," Marcus announced grimly as he studied the readings. NAIA joined him at the command console, her expression troubled. "The unknown ship, those energy signatures, are Zephyrian. Military class? Your brother? Possibly?" She manipulated the controls with practiced ease, her enhanced abilities interfacing directly with the ship's systems. "Marcus, there's something I haven't told you about Corvin. It's not just my brother. We were bonded as children. I can sense his presence across vast distances." "What kind of bond?" Marcus asked, though he dreaded the answer. "Sibling bond. Not romantic like ours, but strong enough that he's been tracking me this entire time." Her skin flickered with distress. "He must have shared our location with the Alliance in exchange for permission to retrieve me." Marcus began plotting evasive maneuvers, but 3 ships against 1 meant poor odds. "Can you break the connection?" "Not while we're both alive," Naya replied quietly. The implication hung heavy between them. Marcus turned from the controls too. "Face her fully, Naya, no? We'll find another way. The Alliance will use me as a weapon against my people. Corvin will drag me back to face execution for treason. Either way leads to genocide." Her voice remained steady, despite the tears on her cheeks. "At least if you even finish that sentence, I'll be very upset," Marcus interrupted firmly. "We face this together, remember, till the end of time?" Despite everything, Naya smiled. "You are impossible, and you love me for it." Marcus began pushing the Stellar Wanderer's engines beyond safe parameters. "Hold on, we're going to try something." "That's either brilliant or suicidal." "With you, there's often a little difference," Naya replied. But she strapped herself in beside him as the 3 pursuing ships closed distance. Marcus activated every system modification Naya had helped him install. Their small vessels suddenly blazed with Zephyrian energy signatures. Confusing the enemy sensors, they dove toward a nearby gas giant, using its electromagnetic field to mask their escape vector. But even as they temporarily evaded capture, both Marcus and Naya knew this was only the beginning. Forces from both their worlds were mobilizing to tear them apart. The gas giant's radiation storms provided temporary cover, but Marcus knew they couldn't hide forever. As the Stellar Wanderer orbited through churning clouds of methane and hydrogen, Both Alliance and Zephyrian forces maintained search patterns just beyond the planet's interference field. 3 more ships just dropped out of hyperspace, Naya reported from the sensor station. Alliance heavy cruisers. Marcus cursed under his breath. They're treating this like a full military operation. Because it is, Naya replied grimly. Corvin has convinced both our governments that I possess strategic intelligence worth any cost to recover. Through their bond, Marcus felt her growing despair. The weight of 2 civilizations' expectations pressed down on her shoulders like a physical burden. He moved behind her chair and placed his hands on her shoulders, letting their connection flow freely. We're not giving up, he said firmly. There has to be somewhere we can go. Naya leaned back against his touch, drawing strength from their link. The Kepler Nebula is 3 jumps from here. Sensor-dampening gases, unstable stellar formations. It's been declared a navigation hazard by both our peoples. Sounds perfect, Marcus replied. How long until the storm's clear enough for us to make a run? 6 hours? But Marcus, we'll have to punch through their perimeter at full burn. If they catch us in open space, they won't, Marcus said with more confidence than he felt. We have advantages they don't expect the next few hours. Past intense preparation, Naya interfaced directly with the ship's systems through her bioluminescent touch, boosting power efficiency beyond design parameters. Marcus plotted jump calculations that would have been impossible for a single pilot, but their shared consciousness allowed them to process navigation data simultaneously. Incoming transmission, the ship's computer announced. The main view screen flickered to life, revealing a face that made Naya gasp in recognition. Her brother Corvin looked like a darker version of herself, the same silver hair and space dark eyes, but corrupted by whatever power had consumed him. His skin held a sickly green tinge instead of her healthy blue glow. Dear sister, Corvin's voice carried across the void with mock affection. You've led us quite a chase. Surrender now, and I promise the human will die quickly. Corvin, Naya replied, her voice steady, despite the pain Marcus felt through their bond. You don't have to do this. The Alliance will help us find a peaceful solution. Peace? Corvin laughed bitterly. The Alliance plans to dissect you, study your modifications, then use that knowledge to create weapons against our people. I've seen their classified research proposals. Marcus stepped into view of the transmission. That's not going to happen. She's under my protection. The pet human speaks, Corvin sneered. Do you know what you've done to her, Marcus Reed? Primitive genetics are contaminating her pure Zephyrian heritage. She glows dimmer now, weakened by contact with inferior DNA. He's lying, Naya whispered, but Marcus could sense her sudden doubt through their connection. Am I? Corvin continued. Look at yourself, Naya. When did you last achieve full luminescence? When did you last hear the song of our homeworlds? Stellar winds in your dreams? Naya's hand flew to her throat unconsciously. Marcus realized with horror that her brother was right. Her natural glow had diminished since their bonding began. The contamination can be reversed, Corvin offered. Surrender yourself willingly, undergo genetic purification, and resume your place among our people. Continue this perversion, and you'll fade until nothing Zephyrian remains. The transmission cut off, leaving them in silence. Marcus watched Naya's expression cycle through confusion, fear, and growing resolve. Is it true? He asked quietly. Am I hurting you? I don't know, Naya admitted. But it doesn't matter. It matters to me, Marcus said fiercely. With me is killing you, then I choose you over my own life, Naya interrupted, her skin flaring bright with emotion. Do you think I care about genetic purity when I have something infinitely more precious? Before Marcus could respond, proximity alarms shrieked through the ship. 6 vessels had broken formation and were approaching through the storm. They're not waiting for clear weather, Marcus announced, diving into the pilot's seat. Hold on. Stellar Wanderer shot out of the gas giant's atmosphere like a bullet from a gun. Immediately, energy weapons lit up space around them as both Alliance and Zephyrian forces opened fire. Marcus threw the ship into evasive maneuvers that would have killed a normal human. But his enhanced reflexes kept them ahead of the targeting. Computers. Jump coordinates locked, Naya reported, her hands dancing over controls faster than human eyes could follow. But we need 30 more seconds for the hyperdrive to charge. an Alliance cruiser moved to intercept their escape vector, its massive bulk blocking their path. Marcus gritted his teeth and pushed their small ship straight toward the larger vessel in a deadly game of chicken. "Marcus, what are you doing?" Naya gasped. "Trust me," he replied through gritted teeth. At the last possible second, Naya understood. She poured energy directly into their engines through her touch, and the Stellar Wanderer's speed doubled instantly. They shot past the cruiser with meters to spare, riding the shockwave from its own engine wash. "Hyperdrive ready," Naya announced. "Jump," Marcus commanded. Reality twisted around them as they entered hyperspace, leaving their pursuers behind in normal space. But even as they escaped immediate danger, both knew this was far from over. "They'll track our jump signature," Marcus said. As the ship settled into hyperspace transit, "I know," Naya replied quietly. "Marcus, what if Corvin was right? What if I'm losing myself by being with you?" Marcus unbuckled from his seat and moved to kneel beside hers. Taking her glowing hands in his, he met her worried gaze. "Then we'll find a way to strengthen what makes you Zephyrian while keeping what makes us together. But Naya, never doubt that what we have is worth fighting for." She kissed him softly, her luminescence pulsing with renewed determination. "Together against the universe?" "Together against the universe," Marcus confirmed, as their ship raced toward the Kepler Nebula, an uncertain sanctuary. Both human and Zephyrian, prepared for the battles yet to come. Love had made them fugitives, but it had also made them stronger than either could be alone. The Kepler Nebula stretched before them like a cosmic ocean of impossible colors. Stellar gases swirled in patterns that hurt human eyes to look at directly, while electromagnetic storms danced between newborn stars. Marcus guided the Stellar Wanderer deeper into the maze of beauty and danger. Naya reportedly scrambled, Naya reported. Her enhanced abilities barely able to penetrate the nebula's interference. Anything beyond a few kilometers might as well not exist. "Perfect," Marcus replied. "If we can't see them, they can't see us." They'd been hiding in the nebula for 2 weeks, moving constantly to avoid detection. Their supplies were running low. But they'd discovered something remarkable. The nebula's unique radiations were actually strengthening Naya's natural abilities instead of weakening them. "Look," she said, extending her palm toward a damaged console. The repair that would have taken hours before now completed in seconds, her skin blazing with renewed luminescence. "Corvin was wrong," Marcus observed. "You're not fading. You're evolving." "Both are," Naya corrected, noting the subtle blue glow that now emanated from Marcus's own skin when he concentrated. "The bond isn't contaminating us. It's creating something entirely new." Their conversation was interrupted by the ship's computer announcing an incoming transmission on emergency frequencies. The view screen flickered to life, revealing an unexpected face, Admiral Sarah Chen, Marcus's former commanding officer. "Marcus, if you receive this, know that I'm transmitting on secure channels," Chen said urgently. "The Alliance Council has voted to terminate the pursuit mission. Corvin's people attacked our forward base at Proxima Station. We need to talk." Marcus and Naya exchanged glances. "Could be a trap," he warned. "Through our bond, I can sense deception," Naya replied. "She's telling the truth." Marcus activated their response beacon. Within hours, a single Alliance scout ship approached their position. Admiral Chen arrived alone, as promised, her expression grim as she boarded the Stellar Wanderer. "You look different," Chen observed, noting Marcus's enhanced physique and the subtle glow of his skin. "I've had good influences," Marcus replied, pulling Naya close. "Admiral, I want you to meet Naya, my partner in every sense that matters." Chen studied the Zephyrian woman with professional interest. "The intelligence reports hardly did you justice. Your people's technology is centuries ahead of ours." "My people are dying," Naya replied sadly. "Corvin's war has consumed 3 systems. Millions of refugees flee toward Alliance space. Which brings us to why I'm here," Chen continued. "The Alliance needs mediators, people who understand both cultures and can build bridges instead of walls." Marcus felt hope stirring through their bond. "What are you proposing? A new colony world?" Far from both civilizations' current territories, A place where refugees from both sides can start over, learn from each other. Chen paused. We'd need administrators we could trust, people with unique qualifications. You're offering us amnesty. Marcus realized. I'm offering you purpose, Chen corrected. The colony will need leaders who understand sacrifice, cooperation, and the power of unity, despite differences. Aja squeezed Marcus's hand. Through their connection, he felt her excitement and cautious hope. Where is this world? Designation. Haven to 7. Earth-like atmosphere, abundant resources, completely uninhabited. It's yours if you want it. The next few months passed in a blur of preparation. Colony ship Abraham Lincoln carried 500 volunteers, Alliance citizens seeking adventure, and Zephyrian refugees fleeing war. Marcus and Naya served as joint administrators, their unique bond helping them navigate the complex challenges of interspecies cooperation. Haven-7 exceeded all expectations. Crystal-clear rivers flowed through valleys filled with bioluminescent plants that reminded Naya of home. The gravity was slightly lighter than Earth normal, perfect for both human and Zephyrian physiology. Most importantly, the planet's unique magnetic field amplified psychic connections, allowing human colonists to develop limited telepathic abilities while strengthening Zephyrian powers. The children are the most remarkable, Naya observed. 6 months after landfall. She was visibly pregnant now, her condition impossible, but undeniably real. Their child would be the first true hybrid, part human, part Zephyrian. Wholly unique, Marcus watched human and alien children playing together. In the settlement's central plaza, they communicated through a mixture of words, gestures, and empathic touches that transcended language barriers. They're not seeing differences, he marveled. To them, it's all just normal. Perhaps that's the future, Naya suggested, her hand resting on her swelling belly, not human or Zephyrian, but something new, something better. That night, as they lay together in their simple quarters overlooking the settlement, Marcus felt complete contentment for the first time in his life. Naya's head rested on his shoulder, her skin glowing softly in the darkness. Any regrets? He asked quietly. About abandoning my career, becoming a fugitive, starting a colony on an unknown world with limited supplies and no backup? Naya pretended to consider seriously. Not even one. Good, Marcus replied, kissing the top of her head. Gah! Because I love you more than I ever thought possible. And I love you beyond the boundaries of species, space, or time, Naya whispered back. Their child kicked strongly, as if agreeing with both parents. Outside their window, 2 civilizations' worth of refugees worked together to build something unprecedented, a society based on cooperation instead of conquest, understanding instead of fear. Marcus had risked everything to save one alien woman, and in return, she had given him loyalty, love, and hope for a future where differences strengthened, rather than divided. As they drifted off to sleep under alien stars, both knew they had found something more precious than any treasure in the galaxy. They had found home, the settlement of Nu. Harmony grew rapidly as word spread through both civilizations about the successful colony. Marcus and Naya's child, born with silver hair and skin that glowed with inner light, became a symbol of what was possible when love transcended all boundaries. And in the years that followed, as more colonies were established, and the war between, their peoples gradually ended. Historians would mark the crash on Kepler 4 to be as the moment everything changed. When one man's decision to save a stranger became the foundation for a new age of galactic peace,